A wonderful day to you, our dear viewers. Welcome to another edition of the Complete Sports Update. My name is Abib Kuranga. This is the show where we bring to you the latest and trending stories in the world of sports. The Super Eagles of Nigeria were defeated in the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations by the Elephants of Ivory Coast. Where did the Super Eagles got it all wrong? Could they have approached the final in a different way? And should the Nigeria Football Federation reward Jose Pizarro with another contract after his exploits with the Super Eagles of Nigeria? This, alongside other exciting and interesting topics, shall be discussed right here. Do sit back, relax, and enjoy, because this is the Complete Sports Update. And for today's edition, I'm being joined alongside James Agboribi. Together, we shall be taking you through the rounds as far as sporting stories are concerned. Good day to you, James.
Yeah, thank you.
Welcome to the show once more.
Yeah,
yes, on Sunday, it's no longer news that the Super Eagles of Nigeria lost at the final to the host nation, Ivory Coast. William Troost-Ekong actually putting the Super Eagles up front before Frank Casey and Sebastian Haller, overturned the scoreline and gave the Ivory Coast their third African Cup of Nations title at the Alassane Ouattara Stadium. So what do you have to say about the match in general?
Well, unfortunately for the Super Eagles, they could not replicate what they've been doing in the tournament. That's when they go ahead against teams, they try as much as possible to hold on to it and see out the victory. It was a sad day for Nigerian football because we all thought they've had that one in the bag, especially going ahead in the game. But immediately they scored, everything just went south from there. They just couldn't really composure, the organization, everything was just not there. They allowed the Ivorians all the room in the world to do as they like, So it was a different Super Eagles team we saw that day, and even the coach too came out to admit it. Some of the players too came out to admit it that they didn't play well, the Ivorians deservedly won. Because they, despite the fact that they considered first, they didn't allow that to affect them. They still came out, they played. A lot of the Super Eagles players didn't really come to the party. All I know was one of the culprits. Alex Iwobi too had a below par performance. Even Victor Osimhen too, I don't think he even had a shot on target or even had an attempt at all in the opponent's half. So for me, overall, it was a game where it's as if the Super Eagles kept their worst performance for the final. So it was unfortunately they couldn't make it the third AFCON title. But overall, we can say they did well because none of us expected them to get to this final because we already written them off. Just okay, maybe they qualify from the group stage. From there, anything can happen. But they defied all the odds and they got to the final. Yeah,
we were actually expecting a win for the Super Eagles of Nigeria, considering the fact that we believe that whenever they score that first goal, they will definitely soak up the pressure and see out the game. But where do you think they get it all wrong?
Well, for me, I think the coach, the lineup, sometimes they tell you that you don't change a winning team, So for me, I think he should have gone with the same set of players because I just couldn't understand why he decided to start Chukwueze. And in some of the games he played, he wasn't that wasn't that convincing in all the games, So for him to now give him the nod to start in the very big game like that, as if the occasion kind of overwhelmed him. He didn't attack-wise, he wasn't there defensively. He didn't really do much. Before the coach, he saw it early in the second half. He had to bring him out and put in Moses Simon, but that too didn't really do anything positively for the team. So for me, and the coach too didn't react on time when the Ivorians were on the ascendancy, when the pressure was much. That was when I expected the coach to now quickly make the changes because it was obvious that some of the players were fatigued. I don't know, maybe because of his style of play, the 3-4-3 formation. I think he got to the stage where the energy, when you play in such formation,
exactly.
Sapped a lot of energy. So I don't think he managed that area. So I think it kind of affected the players, So like I said, the good one for them, at least the experience. Nobody should come out to start criticizing them. It would be unfair because if you want to be honest, nobody gave them a chance to even get to even the quarterfinals. Don't talk of the finals. So the coach had the blame, but overall, you give them thumbs up.
So prior to the final game, we've actually watched lyrical about the defensive prowess of this team and how they've been able to soak up the pressure and see out games and all. So do you think with that the Ivorian side would have would have analyzed the game plan of the Super Eagles properly and see that these guys want to play defensive football, so let's just give them that all-out attacking football? So do you think from that thinking, Jose Peseiro could have just tried as much as possible just to try a different approach in order to give these Ivorian side enough headache and try to see if something could happen in the game and in the favor of the Super Eagles?
Yeah, I think when he went into the break with that one goal lead, I expected him to come back with a different formation because now you're ahead, they're under pressure. So I would have expected him to change the formation, put in some attack-minded players, the Kelechi Iheanacho and Terry Murphy, but they came back with the same idea of trying to still soak up the pressure, believing that the defense is there to continue defending. But when the pressure is too much, at some point you just have to give in, which they did. There was one time Calvin Bassey was the one who stopped the goal-bound shot. So at that point, the coach should have had it in mind that okay, the pressure is coming too much. Let me put some attack-minded players who will kind of give the Ivorians something to think about, because it was so obvious that Osimhen was shackled out of the game. He was not in the game at all. So he should have done his changes quickly. But it was when they now conceded that they started doing panic changing, so which unfortunately the deed already been done. So for me, he had his own fault. I mean, he should have reacted. You shouldn't have even waited when they equalized. When you saw that the pressure was, because the moment the Super Eagles gain the ball, they give it back. They gain the ball, they give it back. So the more you do that, the more you keep inviting pressure to yourself. So for me, I think this is one thing the coach, if he still sticks around, this is something he must have learned, that sometimes you just have to tweak your formation.
Yeah, so after the game, we saw some Nigerians, go up to the social media, to, blast some players, Alexander Iwobi most especially, and, Ola, Chukwueze and the likes, those guys were actually blasting them, talking ill about their performance and everything. Even some celebrities came out to talk, ill of these players. Do you think that is actually necessary?
No, it's uncalled for, because, like I said, if we want to be honest to ourselves and truthful, nobody expected these guys to get to the final stage. Everybody was expecting them to at least get to the round of 16 because of the group that they were in. Then from there, expected them to come back home early, but they surprised everybody by getting to the final. So once the expectation is high, people expect you to. They believe that once you're in the final, you just have to go and win the trophy. Forgetting that they played against the host, played against the crowd. At some point, some people want to argue that the officiating was a bit dodgy. But it's unfair. You don't just go into someone's personal social media space and start throwing insult at them. And it's a sad one. But the good thing is a lot of people came out to rally around Alex Iwobi especially. Even throughout the competition, he has been receiving sticks from a lot of people. And the sad part is a lot of people didn't realize that Iwobi didn't play in his natural position, which is further on the pitch. You have to play more like a deep line playmaker. So and he still has to cover ground. He has to be the creator. And it's the formation was then just happening, and it kind of affected him too. So I think that everybody just realized the AFCON is over, and you're just thinking now of how to qualify for the World Cup.
So now, as Jose Peseiro, led the Super Eagles to the final, which unfortunately they did not win. Do you think the Super Eagles, or let me just say, if you are in the NFF shoes, that's the Nigeria Football Federation shoes, will you be thinking of giving Jose Peseiro, another contract?
Yeah, because the target was for him to get to at least the semi-final, and he went beyond that. He remember also that the team suffered a lot of injuries, so he had to make do with what what was on the ground. You know, he lost the likes of Etaiwa Wilfred Ndidi, Victor Boniface, Umar Sadiq. You know, these are guys that I don't mean they were in the team. I mean, you would have boosted the Super Eagles and all the scoring duty were falling on Osimhen's shoulder alone. You know, so for me, I still want him to still be with the team because I think there's a kind of a chemistry now between him and the players. You know, so for you to now sack him and bring in somebody who will now like start all over again and come up with his own ideas and method, tactics, you know, it might take some time. We all know how long it took before these guys were able to, you know, come to gel with his method and ideas. You know, so for getting to the final, I think that is enough reason why he should continue with the team, but we have the World Cup qualifiers, which is not that far again, and I think it will be important. It will be wise enough to still keep him, you know. But to me, if you want to judge him by he did well based on especially with what was on the ground before the team went to the AFCON. So for me, he should stick around and they should extend his contract.
So now that the AFCON dust is settled now, so what is the way forward for the Super Eagles of Nigeria?
Well, the way forward is for everybody to just go back, you know, put the AFCON aside and focus on the World Cup qualifier. They have a friendly game against Argentina this month, if I'm not mistaken.
Next month,
you know, so that's another good way to, you know, get back, you know, to win the fans again, because we are playing against the world champions. You know, so it's another opportunity for the players to show what they can do, and a good preparation for the World Cup qualifiers as well. You know, so let's just keep our fingers crossed and hope that the performance that we saw at the AFCON is not just a fluke. It's something that they can build on. Fine, we wanted them to win, they didn't win, but they played beyond expectation, and let's just hope that lessons have been learned in the AFCON and they use it as they prepare for the friendly game against Argentina and also the World Cup qualifiers.
Yes, definitely. Those are the words from James. Yes, we definitely hope that this is just the beginning of something exciting for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. So thank you very much, James, for your expert opinion and analysis. So guys, this is where we'll be wrapping up things as far as today's episode is concerned. So do well to take care of yourself and don't forget to enjoy the rest of your day. Bye for now.